Good morning. It's so great to see all of you here this morning. Welcome to this morning's professional development seminar. For the next 3 days, we are going to be focusing on the topic, the art of teaching elementary science. Before we get into what exactly we will be doing here for the next 3 days, I'm going to take some time to introduce exactly who I am. My name is Alondra Russell, and I am your professional development facilitator. I have been in the teaching profession for the past 7 years. I've been stationed at CW Sawyer for the past 3 years. I worked on two family of islands thus far, one being Inagua All Age School and the other being Spanish Wells All Age School. All awesome experiences. But what really got me into wanting to pursue, I'm currently pursuing a degree at Michigan State University in special education. And what drove that force for me was the fact that I realized in the general education classroom as a generalist teacher, I encountered many students who, in some shape or form, had a type of learning disability. But I also realized that what I lacked was the training to be able to meet the needs or accommodate the needs of those particular students. So that's why I decided to further my studies in special education, and that is why I am here right now. Okay? Now, why are we here? Why did any of you guys decide to sign up for this professional development seminar? Point blank, we probably all realize that the kids need our help. And before I go into the objectives of the entire or the goals for the entire workshop, I'm going to ask a very important question. I would like for you to answer me truthfully. How many of you at one point in time probably made the statement that you have done all that you could to help a particular student? Maybe you felt as though you exhausted every single resource there is to be exhausted. If that is you, or if you had made that statement before, can I see a show of hands, please? Now, I'm going to ask another question. How many of you, in all honesty, actually believe that you have done or you would have done all you could have done or all there is to be done to probably help little Johnny or little Sammy or Kim? Thank you again for being so honest. The point is, in reality, there is no way in which we could exhaust every resource. There is always some type of strategy. There is always some technique that we can probably attempt and try to meet the various needs of our students. And that is why we are here. We are here because we do not know it all. We are here because there's still so much for us as educators to learn in terms of how we can better equip or give our students the tools they need in order to succeed. So, what I am going to do right now is go over the objectives or the goals, the overall goals for this workshop. So, after you would have completed this workshop, each and every one of you, or at least 80% of you or more, should be able to create lesson plans that integrate evidence-based techniques to engage students with learning disabilities in science. As you can see, I did not just say techniques. I didn't just say strategies, but I used the word evidence based. Whenever we are trying to implement new strategies or methodologies in our classrooms, we have to be very careful and kind of ensure that the research backs up whatever it is we're trying to put forth. And that's what you will kind of experience as we go throughout this 3-day workshop. Next, you will be able to substantiate through research the relationship between student engagement and their level of achievement. Next, execute research-based activities that support the vocabulary instruction in science for students with learning disabilities. And last but not least, describe 3 add-ons or extensions that can be used in the classroom to promote student engagement and support vocabulary instruction. I am super excited, and I hope that all of you would kind of take all of, that will be offered in the sessions for the next 3 days and be able to apply them in some shape or form into your own classrooms. Now, because we will be spending a lot of time with each other over the next 3 days, it's only necessary that we get to know each other a bit better. So on your tables right now, you will see a bingo card and it's labeled Autograph Bingo. We're going to get up out of our seats for a while and kind of mingle and mix and get to know each other. With this game, you're going to realize in the square boxes, there are various attributes. You may see something like a teacher for 20 years, holds a degree in special education, has a dog, and so on. What you have to do is walk around this area and find someone that matches a particular attribute on your card. When you find that person, all they have to do is sign their autograph. And we all know if you get bingo down, bingo across, then you shut up bingo, and obviously you would win the game. And I have some little goodies here for those who take part and who answer questions when they are given or whatnot. So I will give you 5 to 10 minutes to walk around and take part in this icebreaker. Okay, it's so nice to see you all getting to know each other so well. But we're going to now move on to the other segment of our session. And today's session, we're talking about ways in which we can help our kids overcome the challenges that they face in science vocabulary. All right. But before I go to these objectives again, I would like for you to close your eyes for me. And as you close your eyes, I would like for each of you to reflect on a time when maybe you would have purchased a new device or a piece of furniture. And with that device or that furniture came along an instructions manual. And maybe in reading the instructions manual, no matter how hard you tried, you were unable to assemble whatever there was for you to assemble simply because there were certain terms there you did not understand. And now I want for you to imagine for me with your eyes closed. I want you to imagine that Maybe something went wrong with your vehicle and you decide to take your vehicle at the mechanic shop. And when you took your vehicle there, instead of fixing your vehicle, the mechanic, he gave you a how to fix it manual for you to use yourself. And as you open the manual, maybe you began to see words like compression and turbocharge, maybe words like hydraulics, thyroid, radiator, and at the corner of your mind, you have no idea what it is you have to do simply because you have no prior knowledge in terms of using those words or those terms. So you know nothing of where to start. And with that at the corner of your mind, I want you to kind of think of a time when you gave your students a set of content in science to read. And maybe that content contained words such as hypothesis and photosynthesis and microscopic, medicinal, indigenous. And you give your kids these words, your fourth graders, your fifth graders, your sixth graders, and they don't know what to do with it. Now, I want you to stop for me and I want you to compare how you would have felt if your mechanic gave you that how to fix it manual with those words in there you have no knowledge of. And compare your feelings to how your students feel every time we give them content that contains vocabulary that is far out of their reach. Now, I want you to open your eyes for me. And I want you to realize again that is why we are here. We are here because we don't want our students to become demotivated. We don't want them to become frustrated. We don't want them to become failures simply because we as teachers failed to give them the tools that they need to overcome that vocabulary barrier in science. So this morning, we're going to go over the objectives or what we plan to accomplish in today's session. Firstly, we will identify challenges associated with vocabulary instruction in science for students with LD. You will learn a bit about Mr. Robert Marzano and his six-step approach to academic vocabulary. You will all be able to describe research-based activities that can be used to support science vocabulary. And at the end of it all, you will successfully create a mini lesson plan for a vocabulary lesson. Now, as part of your pre-assessment, you all have a paragraph that was extracted from the fifth grade science curriculum. And in your groups that you are assembled within already, I would like for you to read this paragraph. And as you read, I want you to underline any words that you feel that your students with LD may experience a challenge with. And in unison, as you underline those words, at the end of it all, I would like for you to kind of discuss amongst yourselves some strategies you use already in your classrooms or strategies that you could probably use to help those students to be able to understand or gain a better understanding of those words that are unknown to them.